Alrighty, so we are finally back with another episode of the BS Crew podcast. It has been a long-awaited episode. Today, I am joined with my good pal Josh.
How's it going, man?
Not too bad, buddy.
I'm feeling all right.
You doing good?
Yeah, this is a episode that only two of us have been anticipating.
Well, I feel like we've spoken about like we've brainstormed doing this like so many times that it's just
Yes.
like I feel like it needed to happen. And
I think so. I think we need to air out our dirty laundry.
Yeah, our dirty laundry might get like the Snyder Cult sick on us, which is honestly, man, great for numbers.
I think so.
Great for numbers, you know.
Have you been saving just their tweets?
I was just
Insane.
I was actually gonna go through like all of our like shared tweet, like the tweets that I share with you,
Yes.
because like
Insanity.
we always send each other all of them. And it's just like it's such a riot. Like looking at these guys have like a fucking mental, like it's a meltdown.
Yes.
And it'd be one thing if the movies were good, but they're not.
And if you haven't guessed it by now, we're talking about the Snyderverse.
Oh man, I can't wait. All right, so before we jump into that though, let's do a little bit of like an intro and a catch up.
Okay.
Has anything else new happened in your life as of late?
So I'm what the kids call a gamer.
Based.
I talked about this last time, but I platinumed God of War Ragnarok.
Hell yeah.
I'm a bit of a epic gamer.
I was told it was better than the first one. Is that true?
Yes, I think that was from me.
Yeah. So you like the like
very much
takeaway?
enjoyed it. Yeah. It's like with you watching the Northman. It kind of like in the back of my brain comes up every now and then because I really like the story. I don't know if you'll ever get around to it, but I think the depiction of Thor and Odin in that game was really good.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I mean,
you don't have a lot to compare it to.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've seen like the fight scene between Kratos and Thor, usually with Freebird as the backing track.
Is this on TikTok?
Yeah, of course it's on TikTok. Dude, I'm saying, hey, we got to make a BS Crew TikTok.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun.
I've never really dabbled in it, but we can make it work.
Yeah. So here's the thing: you got to take like a
It can be
solid
crazy,
month. What?
It can be crazy, though. I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
But you can have like 1 million TikTok followers, and then you'll be on like any other social media, and it'll be like dead.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
I think TikTok just has like a more like I'm not sure exactly how to describe their algorithm, but like it makes it's a lot more varied. I think, you know, so like if you were to go like front page of YouTube without like any kind of account,
Yeah.
you know, like a fresh like incognito tab or something, like it would be like Mr. Beast, it would be
Mr. Breast.
Yeah, which
Kid
yeah, I
channels.
have nothing wrong with Mr. Beast, by the way. I think he seems like he's actually one of the few YouTubers doing good.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Everyone gives him shit.
Yeah, and it's like
not content for me, but
yeah, exactly. Like I don't really care for
don't
this.
know.
Like, and again, it's
people
it's
just
cool
love to
for
hate
him. You know,
people
like
just love to hate on
yeah.
others' success, I guess.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like I'm not getting mad at makeup channels because like I don't like
Yeah,
them. You know,
right.
it's just like it's just not made for me. Like I'm a huge dork. Like, you know, and I think like his stuff is geared towards getting like as many views as possible,
Yeah.
which is obviously because like he's running it as a business and he's
Yeah.
giving away.
He needs that to make the money.
Yeah, you know, and it's yeah. Anyway, but no, so I think yeah, TikTok is actually like kind of cool, but you need like a solid month to filter out like all like the e-thoughts. Like, dude, I swear to God, like I was almost like getting in trouble with Amanda the first like month because she finally made me download TikTok, and I was
Yep.
like, okay, and
I
I'm
can't
like,
wait to see all the memes.
Yeah,
And it's just
yeah, and it's like all I
Horny.
got. Yeah, it was just like girls doing like thirst traps, and I'm like, dude, like I don't need to see it. Like I wouldn't like them. I would just keep scrolling, you know, and like eventually, like I remember how it happened. I started seeing like clips from like stand-up specials.
Yep.
And then like I started liking those, and then like very slowly it started getting to like more of like
So,
what my For You page is now.
typical algorithm thing.
Yeah, 100%.
So like an incognito mode TikTok is made for geriatric men.
Yes. Dude, well, yeah, that's another thing too. There's like these like mid 50-year-olds that are like commenting on like fucking like high schoolers like twerking, and I'm like, bro, like,
Not surprised.
man, that's sus.
It is a
That's
little. That's
sus.
pretty
like
sussy.
straight to jail, man. Like,
Internet was a mistake.
you know what else is a mistake?
What
Dude,
is?
no Spider-Man 2 news in
That
the
is
last state
rough.
of play. I was
That's
really
pretty
hoping
rough.
for it. It's got to be getting delayed.
But-
like, there's no way it's not a 2024
I think it's
release.
okay. I can wait.
I can wait too. I think it's just like I saw that initial 2023 release date and I got like really excited when that first trailer dropped.
I'm more so. Well, have they officially said it's this year, or is that more so a leak?
No, so in the initial trailer, like when they,
Oh,
there's
yeah,
the Kraven voiceover, the Venom
Yep.
reveal, and it just ended with like 2023.
I'm excited.
I
But
think it's gonna be great.
I'm more so
Like,
waiting for Wolverine gameplay.
I
That's also
think
Insomniac.
that's probably not gonna come out like
No, I know it's gonna be like 2025. Earth's
prob-
on fire.
at the earliest. I think, as much as I hate to say it, I think the Wolverine game would be sick though.
I think so too.
I th-
People were shocked that it's rated M. Huh?
how do you like
I
how
know.
are you disembodying people as Wolverine and not it being rated M? I feel like that'd be.
Have
me
you ever
capping it.
played the X-Men Origins Wolverine tie-in game?
I have not. Is that one of those like tie-in games that was actually like surprisingly
Yes. It was actually surprisingly well received because it didn't follow the movie at all.
Oh,
Only a few
that
tidbits.
tracks.
Yeah. It was good.
good? Yeah. So I think I'm kind of curious to see if the Wolverine game actually features other X-Men.
Probably.
Like
Maybe.
Like, because
I
I,
would
don't
hope
think it'll
so.
be him in the like as cool as I would like it to be. Because like in the comics, we haven't gotten this in a long time. Like, I would love to see the X-Mansion,
You're right.
in like, but I also, if they're marketing it as Wolverine, I have to
Might
assume
be
it's
an
more.
origin.
Yeah, it may be like his origin,
Before
or
he-
it could be like Logan-esque.
Yeah. But we'll see.
I want Hulk.
I
to
have
show
faith.
Up. I really want Hulk to show up in the Wolverine game. I think that'd be a sick, like, even if it's just for like a mission, like a Hulk and Wolverine team up. Like, oh, that'd be so cool.
I have a DVD of Hulk versus Wolverine. Do you remember that animated movie?
I do, yes.
And then it was like Hulk versus Thor.
Yeah, they just did like a bunch of like, was it all just Hulk versus?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, because Marvel, I remember in like the early 2000s, they made like a bunch of these like one-off animated movies that never led to anything, which is cool. Like I like having standalone stuff. I don't need everything to be like this connected universe, but
Yeah. Oh, we'll get to connected universes soon.
Oh, yeah. All right. So, I mean, as far as like the other stuff in the state of play, though, like lack of Spidey,
No Spidey. I think the state of play was okay.
I thought it was fine. Yeah, from
was
what I saw,
fine.
yeah.
Street Fighter 6 hype as always.
Dude, they made Cammy like even hotter.
Like, listen.
I'm one of those guys where I'm like, listen, they put more clothes on her, and she's still like the hottest fighting game character ever made.
Listen, Capcom knows what they're doing.
Dude, they do.
All right?
Dude, the designs for this game are actually like snatched,
pretty good.
bro. Like
It's
they're
pretty
so
good.
cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
It's June can't come sooner.
yeah. I think
I already have.
I think it's gonna be. It's in for me. I'm not sure. Did you ever play like a lot of Street Fighter V?
Not a whole lot because everyone said the online was bad.
Yeah.
You would download the mod for a rollback and they would ban you.
That's so stupid, man.
And
Yeah.
I don't think it's still. I don't think it's fixed still.
I think
Other
there's been
games right now are
improvements.
flexing on it by getting rollback, like Samurai Showdown's getting rollback.
Yeah.
The
Strive.
BlazBlue game, Strive, DBZ.
Is DBZ getting rollback?
I think so.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
the online might actually be playable.
I know
for a change.
all
Oh
of
my
them
God.
except 5.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
And
Well,
the shame about it is that 5 has good gameplay from my understanding, just bad online.
yeah, I
King
think,
of Fighters is still broken.
Yeah, that's unsurprising because I don't think King of Fighters is ever getting like big updates. To be honest with you, like,
Yeah.
but no, I think honestly, I think Street Fighter 4 was like a really solid game. Like even going back and like playing it, but for me personally, like Street Fighter 5, like it feels like it's missing something, and I can't really put my finger on it. Like I just don't catch myself like having as much fun with it. Maybe I can't. I don't know if that's like. If that's like the characters or if it's like the gameplay and like some of the specials and stuff. I don't know. But like, I don't know. I feel like 4 was like really solid. And then like 5
Yeah.
just like, it's kind of,
Yeah.
I
feel
6
like
has me very excited though.
6 is very
Let's-
exciting. Hopefully there's a open beta or something that we can jump into a demo.
Let me tell you what's going to happen, Josh.
Yes.
We're going to have fun playing together. Okay. We're going to have a lot of fun playing Street Fighter 6.
Yes.
Then Vince is going to join our Discord call.
And then it's over.
It's over.
No more fun.
Dude, my fun will plummet. We will just get shit on for like hours at a time.
Remember that time of Bliss and Guilty Gear where no one knew what they were doing?
That was a good week.
It was like
we were going like neck and neck, everybody was going back and forth. It was
it's
super
kind of like
fun.
when you got good at Smash.
Yeah. Sorry.
Jared, it's fine.
Dude, and the thing is too, like I would go to locals like in the area. I would
Yep.
get bodied.
Damn.
Like I am
So you had to take it out on us.
it wasn't even like I would it was mostly like I would try to avoid playing Ness with you guys because like
Yep.
my Ness was. It's not even that it was good; it was annoying, right? I really liked just knowing how to like chain, like especially like the
Yeah.
heavy characters, you know. But it's just like it's not like. I don't know. I could feel like the fun was getting sucked out of the room whenever I was like trying. So I'd always be like, okay, I'm just gonna like switch to like Ganon or some shit.
or just like
you know?
be that guy that just plays random.
Yeah, it's just like I just didn't have as much fun. Like, but the locals were tough. Long story short, because there was Pelka, one of the players, who's I think for a while I'm not sure where he is now, but he was like number 6 in New England.
Damn.
When and he would go to this weekly every single week. You know, Prodigy, the mini golf and game room there.
Yep.
Yeah, so he would go there every single week and basically just farm.
just destroy.
Yeah, it was like, and like there's some guys that would like like he wouldn't win every single one, but like, he would win the majority of the time. And he would just be like just farming like extra couple $100, you know? It's
Jesus
just
Christ.
like-
How is that place, by the way? Have you been there at all?
I went there once last year. I haven't been there in a long time though, and I really So as far as Prodigy to the people listening, super cool local business. You go in there, they have every video game console from like the Atari to like the PS5, and like you can rent out one of like any of like I think they have like what 4,000 games or something.
I think so.
And
And there's mini golf.
And the mini golf, which and they call it Kaizo mini golf, which is just like this like insane challenge mode mini golf, which is just like obviously because of Kaizo.
Yep.
But like, oh, it's so creative. It's such a cool space, and you get all that for like $10 a night too.
That's not bad.
Yeah. And
I remember going there for your trivia.
yeah, that was fun. I think you guys went for like the fundraiser I was doing for them, right?
I think so.
Oh yeah, you can ignore that. Our shower does that sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not a poltergeist?
No, it's not. It's
Okay.
not poltergeist. Yeah, no. So there was one time. It was during COVID, and like a lot of other local businesses, Prodigy was like struggling super duper hard, and I felt like really bad because like the owner was always like super nice to me whenever I went in there, and then like I did like a trivia night that I actually like got paid for and everything like about like a year prior, and I was like, what, let me come in for a night. I'll at least try to raise some money for you guys. We'll charge like $10 a head. You guys get to keep it, whatever. And no, I mean, I think we had a pretty decent time there. It was
Yeah, it was fun.
again, like unfortunately with a place like that, we're only charging $10 a head, which is great. Like I think that's
Yeah.
why I like it so much. It's not like I'm paying like $50 a night to go to this place. Like there's a lot more overhead. But awesome place though. Highly recommend it. It's in East Hampton.
Support
Mass.
local.
Yeah, support local because they're such a cool place, and I would rather go there than pretty much any other like game place. They're dope.
There's
Cool dudes.
and to be honest, there's not a lot of places like that around. I can't really think of one.
Quarters is the only other one I can think of, but that's more of like a barcade.
Yeah.
So they have like dedicated cabinets you can go to. And Quarters is I've actually never been there, but I know like Amanda loves going there, and like it's also a very cool place. So that is in Hadley, if I believe correctly. So Hadley, Mass. But yeah, all right. So there's like one meme that I wanted to talk to you about before we get into the Snyderverse stuff. Have you been made aware of Steezus?
Steezus?
Steezus.
No.
So it's Skate Jesus. So you know how in Skate 3, did you ever play Skate 3?
Actually, yes.
Okay, all right. So I did too. I played it a lot when I was like
I actually
a teenager.
really liked it, and I'm not a skater.
No, neither am I. Like I actually bought a skateboard because I was playing Skate 3. And
Yes, I did
never-
have a skateboard as a kid.
I never figured out how to do an ollie. I tried, dude, so many
I
times.
couldn't even figure out how to ride it normally.
Yeah, I couldn't really do it.
I could do a
make it
straight
down the
line.
driveway.
Yeah,
It's like, that
a
was
straight
about it.
line, but to turn,
Gone.
yeah.
100%.
But yeah, Steezus.
So this is also another TikTok thing. All right.
Okay.
So it has become this running joke where a guy modded in a model of Jesus Christ during like the like the crash course one where you could just like crash your dude and like do as
Yeah.
much damage to him as possible.
Hall of Meat.
Yeah, Hall of Meat. Yes, thank you. So this guy modded in like a model of Jesus basically. And so it's Jesus like going off of, like skyscrapers, and for whatever reason, the song that they've chosen as like the background for all these videos is Even Flow by Pearl Jam. so it's like skating Jesus like flying off of like the Twin Towers basically. And it's like Even Flow. It's just like and it's like there's been like this whole like subgenre of meme that's like cropped up afterward, and it's like this like guys like recording themselves, they're like looking up where it's like it's like when you see Jesus like shredding for your sins. It's like,
That reminds me of that brief meme of that scene in God of War where Kratos skydives off Mount Olympus and it's playing like Dream On.
yes, it's exactly the same thing. Oh man, well, and that's the thing that started with TikTok, man. Dude, TikTok is actually like not as bad for memes.
It's a new frontier.
Yeah, and like I get
the recycled memes on Instagram because they'll just repost it.
Yes, like a lot of like the reels are like from TikTok.
Yeah, so I just get like the
leftovers.
Yeah, the leftovers.
Yeah, it's one
the
of those
backwash.
Yeah. Yeah, at the risk of sounding like a how do you do, fellow kids, I actually have like really enjoyed it a lot. It's been
I don't think there's nothing to be ashamed of with that.
No, and it's
as
like
long as you cycle out the e-thoughts.
Yeah, and like
it'll be just like any other social media platform.
Yeah, exactly. Except like because of how the TikTok algorithm works, I'm only getting stuff that's catered to me, and it's so nice. Like because like Instagram doesn't have that. Like Instagram, like I follow like a bunch of these like I followed like these like shitty meme accounts when I was like in high school, and it's just like now I'm just like it's just not funny,
The humor hasn't aged.
Yeah, TikTok's great. Hey, you know what else has aged poorly?
What?
The Snyderverse, man. All right, let's talk about this. So to
let's
anybody,
get back on track.
Yeah, so to anybody who is like uninitiated, the Snyderverse are it's pretty much like the categorization of all of the DC movies that were kind of brainstormed by Zack Snyder, who did Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and of course he had Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yep.
Right,
and all the movies around it kind of played in that same universe.
Yeah, and like they were initially trying to do like an MCU-ish kind of thing.
Yeah. After the MCU kind of hit its stride.
Oh yeah.
DC was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe we should do that.
Yeah, well, and the thing that even as like a high schooler, like I was drinking the copium because we talked about this a lot back then.
Yeah.
Like I convinced myself that Batman v Superman could have been a good movie, and it's like, I mean,
there was a lot of copium huffed.
There was so much copium, and it's like I thought Man of Steel was cool. I actually didn't like the Justice League when it first came out.
Yeah,
It's like,
I feel like you've always at least had a more positive outlook on Man of Steel than the other ones.
Oh, I hate it now.
You hate it now
because like I actually started reading Superman comics, and I was like, "What the fuck? How do you miss that? How do you mess that up that badly?"
Yeah,
yeah,
it's tough. But again, I feel like this cinematic universe has ruined the perception of all the heroes involved.
Oh, 100%.
And all the fans are. You think MCU fans are delusional and like annoying? Dude.
They're jokingly referred to as Snyder cultists, and it's just like it's kind of right. Like these guys are going under like every single one of James Gunn's tweets and be like #restore the Snyderverse. I can't believe you would shit can Zack Snyder. And it's
sell
like,
the Snyderverse to Netflix.
Dude, okay, I wanted to talk to you about that. So not only are some of these the crack fiends trying to convince Netflix. Well, trying to convince WB to sell the Justice League IP,
yes,
specifically the Snyderverse IP,
yes,
to Netflix. They wanted to make this big push for it on February 14th. Like, how much of a self-report is that? They were like, no, we need the Zack Snyder movies to be sold to Netflix on Valentine's Day, bro.
What was that? You sent it to me where it's like, we are going to go to Comic-Con with like signs and billboards.
Oh yeah. Oh god, there was someone there, and there was someone related to WB who was not Snyder. So it was like someone
we're
that
gonna
they were
rush
trying to, like,
them
protest.
and beg.
Yeah, like they were basically like threatening to kill a guy almost for like
we will not back down.
Yeah, and I'm like, bro, like
we will get what we want.
These guys are like so delusional too. Like I'm just like, it's one thing if you like the movies. Like I have nothing against you if you actually like the Snyder movies. I would argue that
you're wrong.
There's better like there's much better. Even if we were just talking like comic book movies, there's a lot better out there. I feel like
there's a lot better representations of those characters.
Yeah,
that aren't edgelord schlock.
Yeah, and it's in one of those things too is that like I don't really like Zack Snyder as a director. Period. Like even with his other work, whether it's 300, Watchmen, or even like he did that Army of the Dead movie. Like I think like okay, the Watchmen thing we were talking about it before I pressed record, but like personally I feel like he butchered that.
Out of all of those, I think just 300's
good.
His best movie.
Yeah, like for the record, I think 300 is actually like really really well done because I think it was one of those.
That was the start though.
Oh yeah. Well, it was perfect for the time where it was like this like bloody action movie, and it was
testosterone.
testosterone filled. Oh yeah,
Yeah, slow-mo.
so much slow mo, and like that was the first time when like this really high def, like high frame rate slow mo was used. You know, so
Yeah.
he kind of popularized it.
Yeah,
doing
because there
that,
was
you
like
know?
a slow-mo trend after that.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you remember like the Sherlock Holmes movies?
Were those the Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
ones?
they had like slow-mo sequences in them.
Yeah, and it's like slow mo does not work nearly as well as it
it does.
did in 2005. Yeah,
It's a sign of the times.
yeah, and
But it's like Zack Snyder's signature now.
yeah, and it's like in like weird music montages too. That's kind of another one, and I'm like, yeah, it's not my thing. Like I don't need to hear Hallelujah in my Justice League movie. You know, like. And like we can okay, all right. Listen,
Already getting
long story-
heated.
okay. To sum up our thoughts as far as like my opinion on Snyder, I think what happened to him. Actually, let's talk about what happened initially with why he like left WB and like how this whole
Yeah.
movement started. So he made Man of Steel, and then he was also the director for Batman v Superman as well. And around the time when Batman v Superman came out, they released kind of like a rough slate of what WB
Yeah.
was going to be, or DC rather, was going to be making for the cinematic universe. So that included, you know, the Aquaman movie, which again eventually happened. They were going to include Green Lanterns, Wonder Woman, and I think there was like a Justice League Dark movie that J.J. Abrams was attached to before they canceled that. So like this was going to be like a very like long form cinematic universe, much like Marvel. There was even a New Gods movie that got shit
Really?
canned, and I'm really sad about that because like that could have been awesome, you know, if like done in the right hands.
I feel like it might be now because jumping forward a little bit, but James Gunn's like title for chapter 1 of his like new slate is Gods and Monsters.
Yeah, I personally, before we jump around like too much,
right?
personally, I think that they might wait until. Let's say if they are building to Darkseid of this next one, then we're going way off topic already. But like, if they're building to Darkseid as like the big bad in this time, which I actually don't think they're gonna do, but more on that later.
Yeah.
I think they might wait a little while for the New Gods. To be honest with you, like because
Yeah,
I think
probably.
Darkseid is so like ingrained in that, you know.
Yeah, it's still Snyder side.
Which is fine. Okay. Anyway, so Batman v
Yes.
Superman came out. They had this whole plan. They had like ideas for movies, and again, I think J.J. Abrams, on top of being attached to JL Dark, I think he also was attached to the Green Lantern, either a series or a movie. So like, and you know, I like J.J. Abrams. I think he's a talented film director.
Mystery box.
He's I don't like the mystery box thing. I think that has ruined fiction. But like,
Lens flare.
yeah. If I was talking, if we were talking about Modern Spider-Man, I would talk about how Mystery Box is like a scourge. But so, and what happened? So they were making the Justice League movie,
Yep.
right? And you know, it was a complete tragedy what happened. So Zack Snyder's daughter actually passed away. So he had to step away from the project when it was like almost done.
Which no one should fucking bash him for that.
No. There's been people that have said that where it's like
Insane.
Yeah. So there was actually these people who were like diehard Snyder fans, quote unquote, who said like this is for, I don't remember his daughter's name, but they were like, oh, do it for her, basically. And I'm like, dude, that is so fun. Like,
I know.
That is deranged. That like, oh my god, yeah. So and obviously like that was a complete travesty. But what WB did, they pretty much went to, they were thinking and they were like, oh, how did Marvel make this work? And they brought in Joss Whedon. And then so
Yeah.
Joss Whedon did like this Frankenstein version of the Justice League, or Justice League, as a lot of people call it, you know, and it sucked, quite frankly. It was weird. There was a lot of even like potentially racist things that are happening behind the scenes with Cyborg's actor.
Sexist, racist,
Yeah, sexist, racist. Yeah, he kind of hit like a lot of
problematic, and I haven't really heard from him since.
Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Which
sure
is a
that like
good thing.
torpedoed his like Hollywood career,
Yeah.
you know.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, it's tough. Oh, Ray Fisher is the name of Cyborg's actor. So like he got
he
horribly
got,
mistreated.
T-boned on that.
Yeah, and especially now, like if you fast forward to like to the Zack Snyder's Justice League, the full 4-hour version of it.
Yeah.
That's on HBO. Ray Fisher is kind of like the heart of that movie. You know?
Yeah, he got the development that Cyborg kind of needed because he was a new character.
Yeah.
You know, like we've already seen like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. They've had their own stuff before then. Like so like Flash and Cyborg kind of needed this movie to flesh out their characters.
And I think it's kind of crazy to
It's
see.
better. I wouldn't think
No,
say
it's definitely
great.
an improvement. Yeah, no, I don't think it's great at all. But I mean, it's absolutely an improvement on what it initially was.
He was basically like a non-character in Justice League.
And can we talk about how absolutely insane it was that WB was just sitting on this cut for so long. Like there was years of fan outcry to be like, hey, we want to see what Snyder had planned for this
Really?
movie.
I actually didn't know that they were just sitting on it. I thought they just like.
It was like 95% done.
Oh, really?
So yeah, they
So,
got
so really, Snyder just had to do like a couple reshoots. That's it,
yeah.
and like fix some CG, even though it's still, you know,
yeah. But yeah, no, so that's basically all that they had to do. It was like 90
color
95% done.
correction.
Even the color correction.
Oh,
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that. I thought he just started like a new project.
Well, so Snyder basically like moved on, right? So like he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
already like
He was
working
already
on like
done
Army
with
that
it.
like he was working on with the Army of the Dead universe and like all that stuff and like a lot
Yeah.
of that stuff was happening.
Dude
but then
couldn't catch a break.
yeah,
Probably everywhere he went.
When's your cut coming out?
well exactly, dude. That's how it got out because people were doing it for years.
Yes, you would under every DC announcement. It didn't even have to be a movie.
When's the Snyder cut? We want the Snyder cut.
Yeah, and here's the thing though, is that like I don't like his vision for where the universe was going to go.
I still think it's good that he got it out there.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
It's good that he finished what he
Mm-hmm.
originally started.
yeah, and funny enough, I actually said this in that like the DC's potential video that I said. I was like, I've seen good directors make bad movies and bad directors make good movies, right? But I think like artistic vision needs to come first.
Yeah.
because otherwise, like this isn't. I don't want to turn this into like a Marvel versus DC thing, but like that's how you get like these kind of like flavorless Marvel projects that have been coming out the past couple of years. You know, it's like you just kind of make it like machined almost, where you don't really let directors kind of have their creative freedom. You know.
Yeah, and that's how we ended up with a 4x3 movie.
Okay. See, what I will say though, I'm happy that he was able to make that movie. I am. I will, however, say that I think there's a lot of really stupid decisions.
Yeah,
Right. In
I'm
like,
an
so
art
do you want
student.
to jump into the actual like 3 movies that he made?
yeah. Let's go.
Okay. So, and I got so I actually rewatched I didn't rewatch Zack Snyder's Justice League because I do think it's the best of the 3 that Snyder made between Man of Steel, BVS, and
Yeah, I mean,
Justice League. You know.
I feel like that just kind of comes with the territory of it being a 4-hour movie. You just get more time to
Oh yeah.
soak it in, I guess.
Yeah, because so like Man of Steel, right? I guess like
Yeah,
we'll
we'll just go in order.
Yeah, sure. So I guess starting with Man of Steel, the things I like about it, I think there's some cool imagery and like I think the score was incredible. I think like Henry Cavill's Superman like taking flight really for the first time, great.
That was pretty cool. Do you like the Jesus imagery?
No, so that was going to be I was like cons. Superman isn't Jesus. Stop trying to make him Jesus. You're taking away the best part about the
Yeah.
character if you do that.
See, the thing that probably riles you up the most is that these movies kind of made Superman out to be like this unfeeling alien, even though he's been raised on Earth since a baby.
Yeah, it is.
He should relate to humans.
Well, exactly. And the thing too is that I feel like being like feeling more like an alien and kind of almost acting more of like an alien demigod, right? Like that's almost more of like Supergirl's territory, right? And it's like I think that works for her because like she was actually raised on Krypton. You know, she had a life,
Yeah.
she had family and
She-
friends
yeah.
there that she knew. You know, and like I think it's great to see stuff like Superman meeting Jor-El, right? Or at least like in the Fortress of Solitude for the first time, right? There's a lot of stuff like that is actually like really powerful and well done. But like we're talking about this guy who, let's say Henry Cavill was like 30 when he finally became Superman in the universe. I don't know the exact age, but let's
Yeah.
ballpark that. He
Young.
was a human. Let's say he was raised as a human for 30 years.
Yes.
He was raised by a nice old couple from Kansas. They're not going to be like
Not this couple.
not this couple. Actually, I think Ma Kent
Ma
was
Kent's
fine.
Pa Kent, on the other hand,
Yeah.
let them kids die.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of petty, but there was oh god, I'm forgetting what comic book it was, but it was a Superman book, and
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
There's a similar scene where there was a kid that was about to get hit by a bus, and
Yes.
Clark used the super speed to get him out of the way, and he was like, "Dad, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to like reveal my powers," and he was like, "What are you supposed to do, Clark? Just let him get hit?"
Yeah.
It's like, and I was like, "Dude, that's based." I was like-
Yeah.
it's like the whole thing about Superman is that he's an icon of hope. He's not this unfeeling demigod. You know, and this movie just made him feel kind of bland. You know, like, and can we talk about the neck snapping? Because
Yeah, what do you
that's like
think?
the most.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what do you think about Superman killing Zod?
So, all right. So I think when it comes to that situation, I think Superman was like going to agonize over having to kill Zod, right?
Yep.
It's like, and I think it's super well acted. I think Henry Cavill was like a really good actor for a
Yeah,
lot
and I
of
think
this.
Michael Shannon did a good job as
Michael
as Zod,
Shannon
too.
killed it. Yeah, he was great. That being said,
I'm kind of excited to see what he does in Flash.
yeah, I think that movie's going to be terrible. To be honest,
It's going to be a dumpster fire, but
yeah, like I'm excited to see
I'm
those
curious.
actors back.
I didn't think he would come back, so I'm kind of curious as to what's going to happen.
Yeah, I really didn't expect Zod to be like.
I did
the-
not
the
expect
big
Zod
bad.
to come back. That's like one of the few things that wasn't leaked about that movie.
Yeah. So so as far as like the neck snapping part of like Man of Steel, right? Like
Yeah.
they got part of it, like the parts of it that they got right were Superman having no other choice but to kill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Superman agonizing over the fact that he had to kill. But at the same time, as a writer, as someone who, you know, is like trying to make a Superman movie, you shouldn't put him in a position where he needs to snap someone's fucking neck.
Yeah.
Like he's a fictional character, you know, and like the thing that me and, you know, millions of other people enjoy about a lot of these superheroes is that like you don't need like you could just go like, oh, it's because comics, right? So like leveling Metropolis and like all this other shit, and it's like, yeah, you know what, like if a few buildings came down,
Jared,
and
can we
yeah.
get an F in the chat for Sears, 7-Eleven, and IHOP?
See, okay, but that's it. So if they kept it in like small areas, basically in the desert,
Yeah.
I think they still could have done like a really like emotionally powerful movie, like and had that fight happen.
Yes, I think it would have worked just fine without leveling Metropolis to the ground.
Yeah. And it's like I honestly think if they did, I always confuse the Phantom Zone with the Negative Zone, so I'm sorry. The Phantom Zone projector, that's Superman. I always confuse.
Yes.
Fantastic Four and Superman. I think if they leaned more into the comic bookness, which I don't think Snyder really doesn't too often, to be honest with
really.
you. I think in the Justice League movie he did a bit with like the Speed Force and everything, but
Yeah.
as far as like Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, I feel like he didn't really lean into the comic bookiness. But like if Man of Steel ended with, think about it this way: if Man of Steel ended with Clark needing to throw Zod and the rest of the other Kryptonians that came there into the Phantom Zone, him effectively banishing the last people from his race,
Yeah.
that could have still just been like so
It still
much.
could have been good.
That could have been so emotionally
Could
resonant.
have directed the fight to the Fortress of Solitude,
Mm-hmm.
and there'd just be like, I don't know, a big glass pane to the to the Phantom
That's
Zone.
kinda what it is,
and
you
he
know?
just
It's like-
tosses them in.
Yeah, no, like, and I feel like that could have been so good, you know? And instead we got Superman snapping necks and people
Yeah.
thinking like, oh, he's so brooding, he's edgy. And I'm like, I don't want that from... Yeah. But I will say, though, Metropolis getting leveled at the end of Man of Steel actually turned into a really cool motivation for Batman to want to take him down.
That works, but also at the same time, I guess that makes sense, but it also makes Superman like a war criminal.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Like his first like public appearance is leveling the city he lives in.
and it's kind of funny,
And
too.
I don't think, is that even addressed in the future movies? That half the city is just rubble?
I
Or
mean,
does it get fixed in the next movie?
oh, that's good.
I don't remember them really talking about it.
I think in Man of Steel, because I think it takes... I'm pretty sure...
There's like a big
sorry.
crater.
Yeah. In Batman v Superman, I'm pretty sure they have
Like a tents, government
they have
tents.
like all like
and
the
construction.
construction, like Star Labs is set up there and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I mean, you're right that it doesn't look like Metropolis's level, but I do think it takes a few years. I think it takes place a few years after Man of Steel, if I remember correctly.
I don't know.
It could be- yeah, whatever.
All I
But
know is that Superman leveling a city is not really a Superman thing.
no, it was not good, and that's the thing. Like I, as a kid who grew up watching like Justice League Unlimited, and honestly, not even reading that many comics until I was a teenager, right?
Right.
Which also, I think the reason why like
I was more a show kid too.
Yeah. Well, also I think like the accessibility of comics was like really hard to come by. Like I remember at Big Y, I used to be able to find like random Spider-Man issues, but like that was it.
Yeah, and like the 5 comic value pack. You get
Yes.
5 random comics.
You remember when we used to go to Five Below and
Yes,
like we get
and just
like,
get the comic value pack.
yeah, that was cool. That was cool. I don't think they do those anymore. I haven't
I don't
seen
think
it
so.
like, the last few I went to. But
What a relic.
yeah, man, good times. But like, you know, so just like growing up on like a lot of these shows that honestly are a more faithful adaptation of Superman, I just kind of watched that movie and I was like, okay, that's a lie. 15-year-old Jared thought the Snyderverse was pretty cool because I was an edgelord, for the record.
Yeah.
And
I think we all were. Come on.
yeah, and
We wrote districts.
with Terror Sisters, yeah. I want to make a video on that sometime. But yeah, no, it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, you see these this adaptation of Superman that again we thought was awesome, but at the same time that was also kind of like when the New 52 was going on. So like,
yeah.
I was fully into.
I think
like
we
I wanted
were,
everybody to be Batman. That's what I want. I wanted everybody to be Batman.
I feel like they still do these days. Batman's like their number one.
Oh yeah, dude! If you look at DC's catalog, half of DC's publishing catalog right
It's
now
Batman.
is Batman or Bat Fam related. So
Yeah.
like they have a Catwoman book, they have a Joker book right now, they have Batgirls,
Oh, yep. Yeah.
they have a lot of that. Yeah, testament to the quality, varying quality, but yeah, like Batman is like their cash cow, and then like they have like a couple Superman books. They have one for
We
John
have
Kent.
one right now.
Yeah, actually, that's the new Joshua Williamson is writing the new Superman series, which is like, it's a good start. It's it pretty much picks off where where the war world arc ended, kind of a little bit past that, but it just does some like cool stuff with Superman, and again, like you see him just being a good dude.
What do you think of the discourse around Superman equals boring?
It's wrong. I'm like, I think the issue I think the reason why I had an issue getting into characters like Superman or like how we were just talking about like the Fantastic Four,
Yeah.
right, is because we had these really zany, pulpy sci-fi things that I didn't like as a teenager, straight up, but also like they're kind of hard to get into if you don't know where to start, right?
Yeah.
So like there is
That's
over
the comic industry in general.
there is 1,050 issues of Action Comics. In most issues of Action Comics,
And how many of
have
those
different-
are issue number ones?
for Action Comics? There's actually only a few. I think there's maybe 3 or 4, but still,
Yeah.
still. But in like, here's the thing: if you go into like certain issues of Action Comics, it's usually like a medley. So like, there's like a lot of different writers. Like, there's usually 2 or 3 pairs of like artists or writers,
Yeah.
doing that, writing their own different parts of the stories.
Yeah.
So like, it's really not like
kind of
nothing
put-
is self-contained.
Kind of puts me off sometimes. Where I'll get like an omnibus. I'll read through it, and then halfway through, the art changes.
Yeah, here's the thing. There's a lot of times where even like the best series, like they will change an artist for an issue. Like even it's not one of the best series. It's actually one of the worst right now. But the Amazing Spider-Man comic right now, Zeb Wells writes it, and John Romita Jr. is the artist.
Yep.
The past like 4 issues, Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr. have been like nowhere to be seen.
What?
They're going to pick it back up, I think. Actually,
Yeah.
like next week.
It's just it's weird.
Yeah, it's really strange how they do it. I mean, it's also that's a management issue. I don't hold that against like the
Yeah.
writers, the
I
artists.
guess that kind of prevents the issue because you got like with manga where the same guy is writing the story since like the 90s, and he's constantly falling ill
100%.
or they die.
Mm-hmm. All right. So anyway, as far as
Yeah.
let's go
back
back
on
to
track.
BVS. Let's go back to BVS again. Okay.
Yes.
So that movie is basically jump started by Metropolis being destroyed in one of the Wayne Tower buildings.
Yeah.
Getting crushed, and of course Bruce Wayne zips over to Metropolis as Bruce Wayne. you
Yeah,
know?
which makes good motivation, I think.
Yeah. Like
The people in the Wayne Tower should have left by now, but they were
wages.
yeah, they
So
were
like, hey, boss man, can we evacuate? Okay, so that's one of those movies that I rewatched for this like a few weeks ago.
I saw this one in theaters with Nicole. And after that my interest in like Snyderverse kind of died. It died with this movie.
Yeah. Well, also, yeah. I mean, when this movie came out, I didn't discover media literacy yet, so I was just kind of like, I was just kind of waiting for like the big fights to happen, which this movie has.
Yeah.
But anyway, no.
But it's
so-
just mindless.
Yeah, one of the things that stood out to me is like, so Metropolis is getting fucking leveled, right? Like
Yes.
thousands are dead, and then like I'm forgetting the guy's name, but one of the guys who's in Wayne Tower calls up Bruce and he's like, "Hey, can we leave?"
Yeah.
You're like, bro, like,
It's
come
like-
on.
It's like gather everyone and leave. Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm like, you didn't think of that 10 minutes ago?
I know.
Like, you wait until the alien laser beam is
There were
hitting downtown
multiple
Metropolis.
alien ships pounding their cock into the ground and leveling the city.
Yeah. Okay, so it's like cool motivation. The movie starts with us seeing the Waynes die again, which I don't
Which is
care
really
for. Everyone knows
it is it's DC's Uncle Ben.
100%. 100%.
We don't need to see it every single time.
Well, and the thing that kind of befuddles me too is that Snyder probably just wanted to direct the Wayne's death.
Of course he
scene,
did. Of
you
course
know,
he did.
And then get those Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Thomas Wayne, Flashpoint the theories going, but yeah. So I mean, Snyder definitely just wanted to like direct that scene, but like the Bale movies, like finished like 2012, right?
I think so.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't BVS come out in 2016?
Yeah.
People
It's-
know Batman's origin.
Yeah,
You know?
it's kind of the same thing with like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and then Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man, where they just go over Uncle Ben dying again.
Again. It was just like a little slight twist. And like I get it. Like as a filmmaker, you want to go in there, you want to do like your own.
Yes.
You know, but at the same time, it's like it was oversaturated, and that's also
Yeah.
again that's still a management thing. The reason what like No Way Home's cool, but we should not have had 3 Spider-Mans in like 20 years. You know,
I still think it looked,
no,
member berry moment.
I think it was good. You know, I like No Way Home. You
Yeah.
know?
I still think it led up to like a good I remember.
But yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah. Things I dislike about Batman v Superman. 'Cause
Batman killing people,
I don't like. Yeah. There's nothing I like in this movie, to be honest with you.
Batman branding people,
Yeah.
and then when they go to prison they get shanked. So
Yeah.
he's
Which actually, that's one thing that I didn't understand.
So he's, like,
he brands
manslaughtering
these
people?
Yeah, so like he brands these people, right?
Yes.
Why are they getting stabbed? You would think that would be like a prison cred moment where it's like, yo, this guy took on the bat and lived. You know, because like, like we've established that like that this version of Batman will fucking waste somebody.
yes.
Like,
I guess it's if he doesn't feel like finishing the job, he'll just get people to finish it for him in prison.
Yeah,
I guess it's like the equivalent of being outed as like a kid diddler in prison.
yeah, but I don't think that's what they did though, right? Like I think he did it kind of indiscriminately, didn't he?
Well, he brands like their upper. He brands like their shoulder, like right below their shoulder.
Yeah.
So I guess when they go to prison, the gangs just check your lower shoulder, and if you have a brand, you just get shanked.
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, and
it's
again-
a Snyder thing.
Yeah, that's absolutely a Snyder thing. Yeah, which again, like oh no shit. Hold on, we skipped over something. I just pulled up my notes. They kill fucking Jimmy Olsen in like
Yes,
the first
but-
10 minutes. Superman's pal Jimmy
shot-
Olsen, not in my universe. Like,
Shot
what?
in the head by terrorists.
Oh my god, I hate it so much.
Also, can we talk about how Lois Lane is a non-character?
Yeah,
I don't think anyone is a fan of her in these movies.
it's nothing against Amy Adams.
Nothing
She's
against
a really
Amy
good-
Adams.
She's a really good
It's
actress.
just what she's working, the material she's working with.
Yeah, and
ain't
it's-
working.
Again, a dude bro like Snyder probably doesn't know how to write women, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Let alone someone who's kind of a badass like Lois Lane, who like kind of like, you know, does the whole speak truth to power thing, you know?
Yeah,
like,
and she's just the Princess Peach of this movie.
yeah, and I'm just like, dude, like she's more than just a fucking damsel, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy Olsen died by terrorism.
And also for the record, Superman kills people in this movie too.
Superman also kills people. He like blasted a guy through several walls of concrete.
Yeah, during so, and here's the thing, right? That happened during that same like terrorist scene.
Yes.
So like Lois is being held captive, and he blows this guy through like 3 walls of concrete.
Yeah. There's several moments where Superman just kills people or doesn't care about what's happening. I saw a clip online where a tanker truck was being thrown at him, and he just kind of levitates over it and lets it explode into a building, and the building collapses behind him because it's epic, cool movie scene.
Dude, cool guys don't look at explosions.
Do you remember that part where Clark was at a bar and a woman was getting harassed, and a guy, a trucker that kind of looks like Zack Snyder, I don't know if it was him playing
you're
it, splashed his face with beer, and Superman, the goodest of men, decides to be petty and destroy this man's truck with like telephone poles.
Well, and the thing too, it's like the guy was being a
And he
dirtbag,
steals clothes.
right? So let me tell you, like I'm not going to pretend that I'm a qualified writer. I'm not going to pretend that I'm like some genius that knows everything about Superman or Batman. But like, if I was to write that scene, you would have Clark Kent emotionally dismantle that man.
Yeah.
Right? You would have him talk down to him and just make him want to go home.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a physical thing. It would
Yeah.
be like talking down his character.
Well, it's because Superman is so much cooler when he's not just punching people. Like,
Yeah, but Snyder though.
but Snyder, dude.
He
Yeah.
wants killing and sex.
Actually, yeah. So that is actually speaking of that. My next note was the Amy Adams bath scene seems gratuitous because it's like this prolonged scene where like they like where they have sex in the bathtub, and then so my next like bullet point there was Superman doesn't have sex, he fucks. It's just like it feels so weird. Like I don't need a sex scene in my Superman movie, man. Like it's why I don't get it. And then let me see.
I feel like you can just kind of take a surface look at Superman and Batman and understand what makes their characters, and that was just thrown out the window for Snyder.
Yeah, well, I think they were also kind of like like it's kind of like a sample of their time, you know? Like,
yeah, the early 2010s, like was the edgelord days.
yeah, and honestly, like DC's,
And even then, they were
comics-
kind of catching flack for like,
Why isn't it colorful? Why isn't it funny like Marvel?
yeah, and it's like it shouldn't be like Marvel. Like,
shouldn't
like I
be.
think DC has a tendency to be.
they did have their own thing, but I don't think it was really gelling with people.
Yeah. Well, and like the whole public perception of DC being like the darker of the comic book universes,
Yeah.
like that's where that comes from. It's the Snyderverse
And also-
and the Nolan movies, if we're being honest, you know. But
That's a whole nother conversation.
yeah, they're fine.
fine.
I don't think they're like, you know, like people act like Nolan is like Jesus. you
Yeah.
know? It's not. They're not even the best Nolan movies. Let's be honest. Here. But like, I just
not even the best Batman.
they're absolutely not the best Batman. Thank you.
We're gonna
Reeves.
catch some flack for that, but
no, it's true. Let's be honest.
yeah.
Yeah, no. Let's see. We can kind of like breeze through BVS here, because I feel like we
he had to
can't
throw in the Dark Knight Returns fight.
It'd be
with the
cooler.
mech suit.
It'd be cooler if Doomsday wasn't there.
You mean Zod's Day? You don't remember that?
God, yeah, no, I hate that.
You don't remember that Zod has Jesse Eisenberg blood in him, and that made him Doomsday?
Yeah, man, I
Can we talk about Lex Luthor, Lex Eisenberg?
I
sucks.
I wrote that he has negative charisma. I hate him so much in this movie, and it's like I know that it's a very common thing to be like, oh, you know, Jesse Eisenberg could have done like a really killer Riddler, you know, and I actually like you could tweak some things and actually have like the Riddler like be cool.
Yeah,
You know, like we did that in the Batman.
They
you know?
they made the Riddler cool.
Yeah, like you absolutely could have had the Riddler be like this. Like, okay, so imagine like, you know, Batman is trying to prove to Superman that he's not a god and that he's like untrustworthy with his power, yada yada yada. It's kind of same motivations, but then at the same time, you also have someone like the Riddler trying to prove to Batman that he ain't shit, you know. And then like the movie could be like Superman learning like, you know, basically how to value human life because he hasn't learned how to do that shit yet.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like
Again,
Batman, like,
we're
learning
not out here
responsibility.
trying to
Whatever.
say that we're better screenwriters than Zack Snyder, but
I
I
am.
think, yeah, but I think we have a better grasp on it.
Yeah, well, and actually, that was one thing, and I was really salty after watching the Snyder cut because I was recording. You remember when I used to do that podcast for the radio station?
Yes.
I was talking to my co-host Leah at the time, and we were just
Did
kind
she
of
like
reviewing
it?
Huh?
Did she like it?
No, I liked it more than her. She hated
Okay.
it. Yeah. And I said straight up like Zack Snyder fundamentally misunderstands Batman and Superman.
I would agree.
The core pillars of each of those characters, he just like just ignores them, dude. Completely misses it. Like I think Zack Snyder, this is where it's gonna feel like bullying for a second. Zack Snyder doesn't read comic books; he looks at the pictures.
Yes.
So like he looked at Dark Knight
Batman
Returns
trains
and
with
he was like, wow.
ninjas and fights in the dark. That's epic. But if Batman was in my movie, he would get raped in prison.
That was the biggest eye roll I've ever done in my life, dude. Like, how do you look at that and you're like, what? Like, why do you want no? Like, no, that makes
Did you
No
do you
sense.
remember seeing like the leaked whiteboard of like Snyder's plan?
so
Where like Batman cucked Superman?
yes, yeah. So this is like Snyder's alleged plans.
Alleged plans. I don't know if it's real or not. But it's like a screenshot of a whiteboard with like a plan for the movies.
Yeah. So what they wanted to do,
And it's a whole bunch of shitting on Superman.
oh yeah, Superman just has a bad time throughout his entire
Yeah.
through all these Justice League
Bruce
movies.
cucks him and takes care of his child.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to remember exactly how that happened. So didn't was it Batman? Yeah, so Batman dies at the end, at the end of like the last movie, I think, right? Because what happens is that so Batman nails Lois and she gets pregnant, and then she gets killed by Darkseid, and then that's how the whole nightmare thing happens, where Superman, you know, is like, you know, he's like controlled by the anti-life equation, yada yada
Yep.
yada. And then I believe after they do like a Flashpoint-esque thing where, you know, everything like resets, they go back in time, they prevent all that from happening. That's when I think then Clark finally gets with Lois. They have a kid. That kid grows up to be the next Batman,
Bruh.
but Bruce stays dead.
Nutty.
Yeah, it was bad.
Can we also talk about what are your thoughts on evil Superman?
It's bad, dude. Like it's not fun anymore. like I'm sorry.
I think
we have
the only-
Injustice, we have
Yeah.
The Boys, we have Invincible. We in like all of those do evil Superman better than fucking Snyder, man. Like we don't. Oh man, and Injustice is actually like Injustice is literally evil Superman, right?
Yes. The whole point of it is evil Superman.
Yeah, and like that's actually, say what you want about Injustice. I know some people don't like it, but like I think it handles it pretty well. I think they have at least something to say about like authoritarianism and like what an evil Superman could do to the world. And like it's been belabored to death at this point, right?
Yeah.
And then you get The Boys that does Homelander. The comic sucks. The show's great. Homelander in the
agree.
show, awesome. Super intimidating villain. And like
Yep.
Anthony
Starr.
Anthony Starr, great. Seriously, killer
Great
acting.
actor.
Honestly, the dude nails it.
Can we talk about all the memes real quick about like Homelander versus X character, and Homelander just gets washed in every matchup.
That's true though, man. Like people acting like Homelander will unironically beat Superman in a fight. Or
Yeah,
like,
he's
they're
the strongest
smoking
in the
dick,
Boys
man.
universe.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I think he's just like a mid-level guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like even if you like think about like the Boys show, right? How Starlight's big power up moment was just like turning off the lights. Like,
yeah,
like
I think
that's the power sets that like we're working with in the Boys universe. Like
Yeah.
people are not like.
I think that's just a show thing, really.
probably.
A budget thing. It probably could have been cooler.
Yeah. Oh no, it definitely could have been cooler. That's 100%. I was expecting something much bigger, but it's
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So like, evil Superman is a trope that's been like done like multiple times now, and like, why would you want to do that in a movie universe that's not established, right? So like, if you give Superman to anybody who like knows comics and likes the character, they're gonna want to make like a hopeful Superman movie similar to whether it's like Birthright or I'm trying to think. Okay, basically, they wouldn't want to start with Death of Superman. Is what
Yes.
I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Like
where
you'd want to go with like
he has
Brainiac
an
or,
origin
like,
movie and then he dies in the next one.
Yeah, no, and it's one of those things where it's like, you wouldn't want to start with Death of Superman. Like, if I had a choice, I'd want to go with like the Elite or Brainiac, right? Like you could do these cool comic booky characters that Superman's like known for. Like they give him something interesting to do besides just punch people and die.
Yeah.
And like, and again, I used to be one of the Superman is boring people. And then I started reading Superman comics, and I was like, oh wow, I was a moron. Like I had no idea what I was talking about.
I think. Can you say the same for everyone that just thinks of Aquaman as guy that talks to fish?
Yeah, that's not inaccurate. I can't really defend Aquaman.
Well,
I don't.
he's
think
not
that
your
interesting.
dad's Aquaman in this universe.
I will say I do like Jason Momoa. If you want to go into like some of the other like Snyderverse movies that like he didn't direct, I do think like the Aquaman with James Wan was probably one of the better like top 3 DC movies like since Snyder took over. 100%. Because like I think it's dumb fun, but it's also super comic booky. So it's one of those things where it's like
he got the comic suit.
That's all I need, man. He got the comic
Trident.
Yeah, and like it was a good enough like story about like him accepting his responsibility as King of Atlantis.
His brother, I forgot his brother's name.
Ocean Master.
Ocean Master looked like Ocean Master.
Yeah, dude, the Black Manta costume is so cool. Oh, it's awesome.
Looked cool.
Yeah, no, and I think that the Aquaman is just like the movie's cool. The movie's cool. I don't really read a lot of Aquaman comics. I don't really care for him that much, to be honest with you, unless he's in like an ensemble thing like Flashpoint or even though it's not. Yeah, or Justice League, just as a whole. Let's see. The Wonder Woman movie, the first one was pretty solid. I think the first
It was okay.
Yeah, I think like the first hour is probably my favorite comic book thing ever, and then like the Ares plot gets ramped up, and then I just get really bored. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can't convince me that Prisoner of Azkaban guy is is like him with the mustache being Ares and stuff. I don't know. I thought it was much more interesting if you just did like a war movie, because like there was. Did you watch the Justice Society movie that came out? I think it was last year. It was animated.
No. I've kind of been meaning to though. I think it's on HBO Max.
Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, because it just is it Barry Allen goes back in time type deal?
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, basically. And so like he sees the Justice Society. He meets Jay Garrick, Wonder Woman, and that's just like a kind of like a war movie, right? And you just see Wonder Woman beating up Nazis, and I was like, great, that's all I
we need.
That's all I need in a World War II Wonder Woman thing, So yeah, and I think the opening to that where she's kind of like a fish out of water going to like England and everything. Oh, it's so cool. I love it. And then like her in the trenches and everything, like it's badass, man.
Yeah, the trailer shots.
The trailer shots, yeah.
It was pretty good.
In the back half hour, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the whole Ares fight. I was like, why? You had something so cool, you know?
I feel like that's Snyderverse summed up. You kind of had something.
You almost had something.
You almost had something, and then the ball was dropped.
Oh, Suicide Squad.
The soulful drama.
Yeah, the soulful drama, the Suicide Squad. Yeah, I mean,
Can you appreciate that people are now crying for the Ayer cut?
No, because David Ayer is not a good film director.
But we'll never
and
see
again-
his vision.
Again, yeah. Listen, we just said it. I wish we were able to see his vision. I truly do.
Yeah.
I would get more enjoyment out of mocking
figured-
it than seeing it, though. If I'm going to be honest with you.
I figured Suicide Squad was his vision. I don't think there's really much you can add to redeem that movie.
Well, he said that there was like a lot of like different stuff. Like Joker was going to be like a huge.
Yes,
part
I
of
know.
it
It's
and
a
all that.
soulful drama.
Soulful drama. I know.
Jared Leto as Joker sucks.
Bad. So
Ass. Probably the worst
That is
Joker
true.
we've
They've-
ever had.
They had some like really like L castings with the Snyderverse.
I-
Like Lex Luthor being Lex
Jesse-
Luthor and Joker being
Lex
the two biggest ones.
Eisenberg.
Yeah, Lex Eisenberg.
I think Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn is, at this point, like RDJ to Iron Man.
Awesome. Yeah, killer casting. Ben Affleck as Batman. Like if he was given a good script, I think he would knock it
I
out
think
of the
so.
park.
I think he works as old, grumpy Batman.
Yeah.
But again, he kills.
He kills.
It's
which is
so
just
wrong.
Completely.
Everyone hypes up the warehouse scene as being epic, which, I mean, it is. But at the same time, he ends it by killing a man with a gun.
Yeah. Well, I love. Okay, can we talk about Batman killing with guns for a second?
Yes.
Because I really want to talk about this. Okay, so I see this same goddamn Twitter argument like once a week. Okay, and people are like, "Oh, like Batman used a gun in Dark Knight Returns." Okay, that's okay. Fine. He shot one bullet in Dark
Yes.
Knight Returns. You know what he did? He didn't kill anybody. He shot their hand so that way he could free the fucking hostage.
Batman and BVS and like Snyder near the end is just like gut shotting people, headshotting people,
He explodes people, dude.
exploding people. He'll shoot your car and then drive through it.
It's insane. Well, and then like there's like so the whole thing, like the Dark Knight Returns scene, right, where he has like the gun and he like
Yeah.
like that
I
is
think he just
also
shoots Joker's hand.
no, he doesn't even shoot Joker's hand. He shoots one of the mutants' hands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
yeah, no, it's cool, But yeah, no, like he does that because also if Dark Knight Returns is like your quintessential Batman, you're wrong.
Yes.
like because that
It
whole
is
thing
also
is like
another fucking edgelord.
yeah,
That they love to latch
he's
onto.
super grumpy. He's an edgelord. Like that is supposed to be a Batman at the end of his rope, who is like a second
Who's
away.
sick
from,
of it
like-
all.
Yeah, he's sick of it all. He hates it. He hates what the world has come to. Right, and like and, like,
better-
Superman's a fucking
A
fascist.
better
in that.
old Batman is Batman Beyond.
Yeah, because I've been rewatching it with Amanda. The pilot for Batman Beyond, the first scene that we see is an older Batman who's wearing the Beyond suit, right? But
Yep.
it's Bruce Wayne.
Yep.
There's some kind of hostage situation and they're in like a hangar bay, right? So and he takes down everybody, but then he starts to have like a heart attack.
Yeah.
He in order to get out of there, he doesn't shoot. He picks up a gun and points it at one of the captors, and the captor runs away. And that was enough to make Bruce Wayne stop being Batman. Bro,
Because
like,
he broke his code.
yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that like his entire motivation for being Batman is because his parents were shot in front of him. Like it is just like again like the whole like Bruce Timm verse and all that.
Yeah.
Like JLU and Batman Beyond. Like it's all just it's so good. It's all like in this the character writing is perfect. And like they get the course.
Grew up on that Batman.
I 100% grew up on that. But I grew up on Terry McGinnis instead of Bruce Wayne. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, like I watched like Batman Beyond was like a lot closer to like when I was first getting into cartoons
Yep.
than as opposed to like Justice League Unlimited, which like there was reruns and stuff obviously.
Yeah.
But
I'm more closer to Justice League Unlimited.
yeah.
Because for a while, Wally West was my Flash,
Yeah.
but it's Barry Allen now.
Wally's the cooler Flash anyway, let's be honest. Like
They're pushing Barry hard.
yeah, and it's I don't know why. Like I get why because they want to start fresh and
Yeah.
they don't want to have the second Flash be the first one in the universe and all that. But
Because as a kid, I didn't even realize there was one before him. I thought it was always
as
Wally.
a kid I had no
Yeah.
idea. Yeah, no. Let's see. Black Adam was bad. That was just boring, which is like the worst.
Did you actually see it?
I did. I watched on YouTube.
Out of curiosity?
Yeah, and it's like, dude, it's not
It's
that.
bad,
It's
dude.
bad, man. It has,
Can you
it
believe
does-
that The Rock was like, I don't want to fight Shazam?
Yeah.
I want to fight the big dogs. I want to fight Superman.
See, we've talked
The
about
hierarchy of the DC universe has changed.
Yeah, see, so we've talked about this before, right? Where like Dwayne Johnson was like, I've been a fan of Black Adam since I was a kid. And I was like, no, you
Fat
haven't.
lie.
No, you haven't. That is such a lie.
He's the only guy
It's
that
like-
looked like me as a kid.
And like, let's be honest. And
Let's be honest. Everyone thought Black Adam was a white guy.
yeah, kind of. Yeah, yeah. Which is fine. Like, I don't really care, to be honest. Like, race swapping characters doesn't really,
Which doesn't
bother
matter.
me. Like,
But that's a big fat lie where you're like, as a kid, I saw myself in Black Adam.
no, you didn't.
Some C-list villain for basically a C-list hero.
Yeah,
Who wasn't even Shazam back then. He was Captain Marvel.
He was Captain Marvel back then. Yeah, Captain Marvel was actually pretty popular, but Black Adam was not. Black Adam
Yeah.
wasn't popular until like 2010. Like around that time when like 52 was coming out and all that.
Jared, I think we talked about it before, but can we talk about the pushing of the Black Adam verse in the DC comics?
He
of,
almost
like,
had something, man. Okay, all right. So we talked about this. I think it was actually on the last podcast episode.
Yeah.
And so
where like the last panel, he looked like The Rock.
so this was in Dark Crisis, which is a whole other mismanagement
It sold
nightmare.
Black
bad,
at $1 million.
It was a bad event. It was a bad event comic. And one of the plot points in, I'm pretty sure it was in the final issue, last two at least, everyone becomes Black Adam.
Yeah.
So he
So
like
epic.
shares his power with everybody, and like everyone becomes Black Adam. And then the scene that you're referring to
Yep.
is when so Black Adam is talking to Superman, and then both Supermans, one is Clark, one is John.
Yep.
And Black Adam looks right at John and he says, "At least you didn't die like your father did." And it looks
he's giving
just
him the
like the
Rock
Rock
stare.
meme where he has like the Rock stare where he has like the one eyebrow
Yeah.
up. I'm like, what? Like, it was so bizarre reading that. I was like, what the fuck? Because like, you gotta say, like, I read a lot of these comics like the day they come out, especially if it's a big event like Dark Crisis, right? Like, because I at least like want to like.
Be up to speed.
Generally, if there's a crisis event, it holds some kind of weight to the universe. So
'Cause
I want to
usually
know what's happening.
That's usually kind of signs for like a big reset, right? Or at least a changing of
Generally,
the hierarchy.
yeah, yeah. The last big crisis event that we had. Oh, actually, no. I was going to say Flashpoint. Flashpoint is a crisis event. Dark Knight's Metal and Dark Knight's Death Metal specifically. Both of those were like huge universe-changing events. Ultimately, didn't change anything because like editorial.
What do you think of Batman Who Laughs? I think he's kind of lame.
He's totally lame. He was cool for that one short story.
Yeah, he was cool in like a single issue, but now they're like trying to push him as like evil Batman.
He is so much worse than just evil Batman. He has okay. So what do you know about like how he got all this power in like Dark Knight's Metal and all that?
No, I'm assuming it's just kind of like Bruce went nutty, right?
Kind of, okay, so what happened is that Joker basically infected Batman with with like, so basically he became the Joker, right? Whatever. That part, like in the initial short story, makes sense. What happens in Dark Knight's Metal and Death Metal, DC owning Watchmen is such a mistake. So there's a couple things that happen. I don't remember which order because it's a suck ass event. Okay, but what happens? It's so funny. So there's this thing in DC called the Source Wall. Are you familiar?
No.
Okay, it's basically like the edge of the multiverse. We don't know what's behind there. We didn't know for like ever, right?
Yeah.
Until
it's the
this
edge
event.
of the flat world.
So yeah, so like there's a writer like there's a writer Grant Morrison, right? They wrote All-Star Superman. Great. Their Batman run is being used as inspiration for the Brave and the Bold movie.
Yep.
Great writer. They've always hypothesized, just kind of as like a fun thing, that on the other side of the Source Wall is the Marvel universe, right? Big two,
Yeah,
like
that's
pretty
kind
much.
of fun.
Oh yeah, it's
It's
kind
just
of
a fun little thing that
cool
has
idea.
like no consequence, right?
you
Well,
thought.
oh.
You thought. So basically, the Source Wall gets broken wide open.
Is it the Watchmen?
No,
Oh,
Watchmen. Whole other thing, because this is
all right.
God, it's so bad. Okay, so basically, the Source Wall gets blown wide open, and it turns out there are these beings. God, I can't remember what they're called. Perpetua is basically like Perpetua and Barbados are these two like all powerful beings, right? Long story short, it turns into the Batman Who Laughs. taking control of Perpetua, this being who is beyond, like, who has the power of creation, and then
boy.
Wonder Woman also gets like the power of creation. So then they just start duking it out, and like universes and multiverses die, and yada yada yada. Now, however, what also happens in order to help the Batman Who Laughs get even stronger, on top of having the power of Perpetua, he also gets the power of Dr. Manhattan.
Jared, this is already getting off the rails.
It's so bad. Yeah, it's such a, like, the art's cool, right? Because
Yeah.
you're seeing like Mad Max versions of all the
the
Justice
art's
League,
always cool.
which is cool.
Can we talk about how would you have lost your mind if the source wall got broken and in walks like fucking Captain America?
I think that is like a
I remember they tried to do that in the 90s where X-Men and DC crossed over, but can you imagine if they did that now?
well, actually, so here's the thing.
Source wall opens up. Well, that just happened.
All right, so you know how so obviously there was like the big crossover event and everything in the 90s.
Yeah.
There was Amalgam Comics where they all were like all the characters were blended.
Yep.
And then they had, I don't remember the exact name of it, but it was basically like Marvel versus DC. And there was like one, like they were being forced to fight each other and all that. So do you know anything about Doomsday Clock? This is where the Watchmen come in, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
DC was so disorganized like in the
Yep.
past decade. It's bad.
We're getting so off the rails right now.
So Doomsday Clock was also initially supposed to be a big crisis event that affected the entire universe. Dark Knight's Metal happened at the same time. It was bad.
Great planning.
Yeah, super great planning. So Doomsday Clock initially started by the comedian's Button falling into the Batcave, right? And it was initially like a crossover story between
I remember people getting excited for that.
which at the beginning you're like, holy shit, we're like, he just found the comedian's Button. Like, how did that happen? And it's this cool short story about kind of like a mini event. It was a crossover between Batman and the Flash. So there's this really cool scene, and people like to. He wouldn't be able to actually survive. Batman needs to essentially survive survive a full minute with the Reverse Flash trying to kill him.
Bruh.
Which I don't care. That goes hard. That's really cool.
Okay.
Where he's like, I the Flash can be here in a minute. I'm like, I need to hold him off.
All right, but would Reverse Flash even doing anything up against Batman? He is Flash's biggest hater.
He is the Flash's biggest hater.
He is.
But no, so he was basically trying. So like, Reverse Flash was basically trying to kill Batman, and Batman, because he's Batman, was
Yes.
able to kind of like hold him off for like a straight minute.
Yes,
It's
he was
really
like,
cool.
I already had a plan.
It's basically it's super cool. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's my I get my monkey brain going. Yeah, it's great. It's a fun time. So when they did that, that kind of spiraled into this thing called Doomsday Clock, which was like the big crossover event where Ozymandias travels to the DC universe with two OCs that Jeff John creates, which is Mime and one other one. They're both mimes, basically.
Okay.
And Mime and Marionette. There we go. Cool names, actually
Not
pretty cool
bad.
characters. I don't think they've shown up since. They're really cool though.
Are the to wrap this up because we're getting a little off
yeah,
track?
sorry. Yeah, we can.
Are the Watchmen characters still part of DC, or are they back in their own world?
TBD. I think so. Dr. Manhattan pretty much gone. I think he's back in the ether somewhere. Ozymandias back in the Watchmen universe. That's fine. The comedian who
Let me guess. Did they just keep Rorschach?
So actually, they didn't. Okay, they dug up. They defiled. They defiled Watchman's grave for money in this, but not as badly. So like the comedian survives. So he obviously dies in the beginning of Watchmen, right?
Yep.
The comedian gets pulled in to the DC universe like a second before he hits the ground when he's falling out of that building.
Yep.
So that's how they do that. And then Rorschach is actually like dead.
Oh,
So, but they have a second Rorschach take up the mantle, who I think is now back in the Watchmen universe. I haven't read Doomsday Clock since it
this
came
is-
out. It was very bad.
this sounds messy.
Yeah,
and
it's super messy and bad. So let's move on.
talk about super messy and bad.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. You want to take this one?
I think again, I think it was good that Zack Snyder got to finish his vision. I still don't really think it was that good.
No. I do think, again, do you agree that Justice League is probably the best of the three that he's done?
Yes, because Batman v Superman made me quit those movies.
That's tough. I get it, but that's
Yeah.
tough,
It's not a low bar to really the bar is like 6 feet under.
Yeah, it's true. But now, James Gunn, of Guardians of the Galaxy in
Yeah.
Brightburn and the Scooby-Doo live-action movies.
Yes.
Bangers. He's basically going to be one of the new heads of the DC
Yeah,
universe.
co-leading with I always
James Safran?
Yes,
I think it's James Safran.
Peter
Yeah.
Safran.
Peter, thank you. And so they're
I think the future's bright.
yeah.
Which is bright is not a thing
James,
related with DC right now.
the thing that I love though, James Gunn reads comics.
He
dude.
does. He reads comics and he answers tweets and shits on people.
Yeah, he shits on people who are like spreading misinformation. I think it's great.
Spreads misinformation, whines about Snyderverse.
He doesn't really whine about the Snyder. Like he doesn't really talk about that too much.
I think he mentions it and he's like in like one comment where he just kind of squashed it immediately.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was like, "No, we have not talked to Netflix." I remember
Yeah.
saying that. He was like, "No, we're not doing that." Yeah, and you can tell, right? Because when you're watching that announcement video, the first thing he says is "Creature Commandos,"
Yeah.
dude. Like what?
All he needed was 6 minutes.
Yeah, and I am excited for not all those projects, but most of those projects.
Because I mean, what he did with like Guardians of the Galaxy, I think he can make these like weird characters that no one really knows and makes them work. I have no
100%.
idea who the Creature Commandos are.
Yeah.
They look cool.
I don't think they've had an ongoing in like 30 years.
Exactly.
I could
The
look that up
Authority,
quickly.
I have no idea.
The Authority are cool.
I don't know who they are.
They're a bit more
but
well known.
I believe that he can make it work.
Yeah, I'm actually looking up right now.
I know
what
you
the
were
last-
very excited about the Booster Gold show.
Oh my god, dude! Well, do you remember? Okay, so there was when we were doing the Wikipedia parties, not Wikipedia, the PowerPoint parties, basically,
Yes.
where we'd all present stuff. I did one where I was like, before James Gunn was announced and everything, I was like,
You had your own DC
I was
slate.
like, this is how I would do it. If we were starting completely fresh, this is
Right.
like a 3-phase plan. I like how you would do it. And
Honestly, it was pretty interesting to listen to, Jerry.
thanks, man. I might have I was initially going to turn it into a video, and the James Gunn came out, and I was like, wow, that's cool. Yeah. Anyway, so what happened? What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so like I said, if I can greenlight any one of these things, and I was like, I had like a New Gods movie in there.
Right.
It was all going to build to Batman Who Laughs because that would be a fucking cash cow. Okay, it would work for
Yes.
general audiences, even though I don't like it.
Hot Topic would be rolling in dough.
Yeah, like space opera, Green Lanterns. Like I think there would be a lot of really cool stuff in there. My favorite would be a Blue and Gold movie. I
Yeah.
would love a goddamn Booster Gold and Blue Beetle team up movie. That
And
would
guess
be
what's
so
coming up
cool.
in the slate, buddy?
I got
Blue Beetle and Booster
yeah,
Gold.
Booster Gold. So it's a different. One thing I'm going to be curious about is if the Blue Beetle movie actually has Ted Kord in it. Mm-hmm. Who, and obviously, that's like the Blue
Yeah,
Beetle.
he was
that,
like the OG, right?
he was actually the second. Because the
Really?
before,
There
yeah,
was
I'm not
another
gonna.
guy.
I don't want to go down this
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
But before DC bought, I can't remember what the comic company was. DC bought a comic company that had the original Blue Beetle.
Yep.
They kind of like absorbed them, and then Ted Kord eventually took over.
And now it's Javi,
Yeah,
right? That's
Ja-
it? Or
Jamie,
Jaime?
yeah, it's Jaime or Jamie.
Yeah.
It kind of depends on like what the dub
Yeah,
is.
it depends on.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah. So anyway,
it's exciting.
Yeah, and then like having a Booster Gold show, dude, makes me so happy because like
Because I feel like still a lot of people don't really know who he is.
yeah, I really liked the. I really liked how he explained him as just like he's a loser with like
Yeah.
imposter syndrome, and I was like, yeah, like that's Booster Gold, man. Like, and it's funny, like so we're finally actually going to be getting some like lighthearted stuff too.
Yeah.
you know, it's like the Suicide Squad, James Gunn's premiere DC movie basically was it kind of
Really
like hit
good.
that, and I think we're going to get like more of that, maybe a little bit less mature with the Booster Gold show.
Yeah.
so I'm pumped for that.
We got Paradise Lost, which is
I don't really care for that as much. I'm
It's
not going to
just
lie to you.
it's not even Wonder Woman. It's just Amazons
Yeah, I think if we were
in like
doing
political Game of Thronesy turmoil on their own island. Yeah. The Green Lantern show seems interesting. We got Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart.
okay, all right. Can I give you my idea for this show?
Yes.
I think that for the end of Gods and Monsters, I think they're going to do Final Crisis. So you know how? So obviously he said that the Lanterns show is going to be basically true crime, or not true
Right.
crime, True Detective.
Yep.
Sorry. Which makes me think it's going to be on Earth, right? We're not getting space opera Green Lanterns, which I'm kind of bummed about because that could be really cool. Because Jeff Johns, despite his faults,
Yeah.
did a really good Green Lantern saga. I think they're going to do Final Crisis because that story opens with the murder of Orion and his body being found on Earth, and that kind of jumpstarts like the entire crisis with Darkseid coming, basically like slowly like invading Earth and taking over and everything. And I think if they like, dude, I'm telling you right now, I am going to go ape mode. I'm going to go mape shit, if you will. if they open the lantern show with the hook of that Orion, a new god, has been found dead on Earth.
Yeah, can you imagine if if they spend that season hook finding out like who killed him?
Yeah, and then eventually like you reveal that it's like all shit going on in space, and they find out that like Darkseid is
Darkseid is.
Darkseid is. But so are we.
Yo.
Good fucking book, man.
Yo.
Dude, if we get Mr. Miracle too, like and actually Tom King, right, author of Mr. Miracle and Vision and Strange Adventures and Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Tom King is they're adapting Woman of Tomorrow, which was like the best Supergirl story in like 20 years.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious as to how that works. I wonder if they're going to keep the actress that's going to play Supergirl in the Flash movie, or if they're just going to reset and get a new one.
Okay, so can I tell you what I think is going to happen with the remaining like Snyderverse
Yeah, because he
movies?
says it's Flash is going to reset the universe, but then after the movie, there's still an Aquaman movie.
I guarantee you. Well, it also, I think the only reason why that Aquaman movie is happening is because like it's already so late in production. So,
I mean, the Flash has been
yeah,
years,
yeah,
years
But
and years.
What I think they're going to do at the end of the Aquaman movie, I think they're going to do like
Another reset?
well, I think it's going to take place before the reset.
Oh god!
So I think
a
like
Black
post credit
Widow.
scene or something is going to be the which in like I don't think it'll be as egregious as Black Widow because like the Black Widow thing is like we already
That
know
one
how
was,
that
like,
ends. You know, like
too
but
little,
if
too
they
late.
not that I'm a fan of just adding crucial shit in post credit scenes, but like if the post credit scene for Aquaman 2 is like the universe getting reset, you know, and we get like our first glimpse of like a new Aquaman, like I could see that. I like the idea of Momoa playing Lobo.
I do too.
That'd be
I'm
be rad.
fine with that.
Yeah, what I would really like to see.
In fact, I feel like he'd have more fun.
Probably, yeah. Honestly, like I think Lobo's just like a fun character.
Yeah,
You know?
he's a immortal space biker who can't die, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Or
yeah,
he can, but it's very hard.
yeah, he can pretty much like regenerate from almost nothing. I'm trying to think of it like when like Lobo's actually died, and I can't.
Real
recall
talk. Can we
any-
talk about how edgy Lobo's like son is?
daughter?
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought it
Lobo and
was a
Crush.
son.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, it's very much like a.
I thought he had like a son.
No, it's yeah, it's kind of edgy, but you know, I'm down. Again, with someone like Lobo, who's just like '90s comics incarnate,
Yeah.
who's kind of made as like a parody of that stuff.
He
Like, I'm
literally
down.
just looks like Kiss.
I love it. I love it, dude. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Oh, Brave and the Bold. They're starting with Damien.
Which is fine. That makes that gives room for Nightwing and Red Hood. Part of me wishes it was Tim.
May I step on your tongue for a second?
Yeah.
So I think if they're going to be introducing Damien, because let's be honest, the general audience has no idea. I think if they
I feel like they have no idea how edgy this little boy is.
yes, which is going to be so fun because I actually really like Damien. But I think they're going to start the movie with Tim and Bruce being like the main two, obviously, and then like as the movie goes on, I think it's going to be like a lot of like the rivalry between Damien and Tim for like when Damien actually. It seems like James Gunn is actually taking direct inspiration from like a lot of these books, and like a large part of like that first arc where Damien's introduced is like Damien and Tim just like fighting all
Butting
the time.
heads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Damien almost kills Tim too.
Damn.
He puts him in the hospital.
I should probably give this give it a read.
Which one?
The Brave and Bold.
Oh yeah,
Where he's taking reference from.
If you read Batman and Son is kind of like
the start
that's
of
like
it?
the big. Yeah, if you want to read like when Damien is introduced, that's like where that starts. It's a
Yeah.
big omnibus and all that. So
Yeah, the whole Bat family just huge now. It's huge.
yeah, I think it's a little bit too big.
I know they have 3 Batgirls.
I think they can get rid of Bluebird. Bluebird?
My brother,
It's Harper. It's Harper
so
Row,
big.
whatever.
I don't even know who that is.
Okay, see exactly. So I think if they keep it down to like the Robins, I'm actually okay with like the multiple Batgirls. Like if
I'm
they have,
okay
like,
with the multiple
Oracle.
Batgirls because I think they're all pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, well, because you get like Cassandra Cain, who's like the edgy assassin.
Barbara
one, who's
honestly
really cool.
can stay as Oracle.
I think she's better that way, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Stephanie might as well just be the spoiler.
Yeah.
And then Cassandra's cool. I think she can be Batgirl.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Because also
Or
she's
even Orphan.
Orphan. Yeah, I don't like Orphan. That's a name. I'm just like, yeah, I do like the idea of people saying that Cassandra like realistically should be like the next person to take over as Batman.
I think she's cool.
I like as like a legacy character. I think her
Yeah.
and Tim both being like the Batman of Gotham. Oh, that's such a good
That's
idea.
cool. Again,
So
the
cool.
Bat family is huge, but I still really like them all.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna look up the James Gunn slate just in case we're. Oh, Swamp Thing's gonna be
Yes,
sick.
I actually wrote it down in my notes.
Oh, hit me.
There's going to be the Creature Commandos. There's a Amanda Waller show.
Yeah, I don't really care about that one. I'm not gonna lie
I think
to you.
Viola Davis does a good job as Waller.
She's great.
I don't know what they're going to do exactly in that
Is
show.
it just gonna be like Peacemaker season 2?
Basically.
I think
Basically.
probably right.
Superman Legacy.
Yeah, how have we not talked about that yet? Yeah, that's I have very high hopes for that.
I think so too. They should just start in. He's already Superman.
Yeah. So I think he said that like he's been active for a couple years at this point. I think
So sort of like the Batman. It's going to
Yeah.
be like a year 2, year 3 Superman.
One thing that I'd be curious about, depending on like what age they go for, is the legacy in here. I'm
Yeah.
curious.
I think it was a working title though.
Yeah. I don't. Would he have announced it if it was a working title like that?
I think so. Or at least the logo was a working in
The logo was
progress.
definitely a work
Yeah.
in progress, but because at least my thoughts for like legacy, I think the movie's going to open and it's going to be Lois being pregnant. Mm-hmm. I really think that they're going to be building up to like John Kent, and
Which is
having
fine.
him. Dude, if we get a Super Sons movie like 5-10 years from now, that would be awesome. I would love that.
Which
Have
is
Damien
fine.
and John just be buds. You know, that'd be sick. I would love that.
They are. Oh yeah, that would give Damien someone to like have banter with, a
Yeah.
kid his age.
Yeah, their dynamic is really cool, and it's kind of a shame that Bendis kind of aged up John and like left Damien the same age.
Bendis moment.
Bendis, yeah, Bendis is past his prime, but yeah, no, I think Superman Legacy is going to be really cool, and what I think is going to happen, Superman Legacy is probably going to have like Brainiac or someone as the villain.
Yeah.
I really would want to see the Elite personally, just do What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, and the American Way.
I saw that with Nando V Movies. Shout out to that guy. He
makes awesome videos.
He makes pretty awesome, interesting comic videos, and I think his like proposal for like Superman Legacy would be the Elite.
100%. Yeah. But here's the thing. I would not be surprised if we do a Superman movie where like Brainiac is the big bad. Then we have the Authority movie. Later in
Right.
phase 2, instead of having Superman versus the Elite, we just do Superman versus the Authority. They could absolutely just swap for each other.
I guess so.
Yeah.
See, I'm not really familiar with the Authority, and even then, he said that all the movies that he announced in that slate is only like half of Chapter 1.
Which
so there's
is
still
insane.
still more. There's like an 8 to 10 year plan, which I'm excited for. I have faith in James Gunn.
Yeah, and again, like he makes solid movies.
He made the
man.
Guardians relevant.
Yeah.
He made the Suicide Squad good. And he just generally knows how to write characters.
And it's like you could tell that like a comic fan is writing this too.
Yeah.
You know, like he's constantly being. And one thing that I also like really appreciate is how he was like, yeah, you know, like last year, you know, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow like finished up. You know, we're gonna be doing that. We're doing that comic. It's not gonna be like, oh, we're doing a loose adaptation like how like Marvel does with like everything.
Yeah.
It's going to straight up just be like, yeah, we're doing Woman of Tomorrow. And I'm like, great. I'm like that is so refreshing to hear. And like him being like, you know, we're doing Grant Morrison's Batman run. And I'm like, hell yeah, that's great.
It's exciting. Now, what are your thoughts on the proposal that the actors that are playing these characters are gonna be the same ones on shows and games? I'm not really a fan of that.
I could see
you can have a
shows.
really good shows are fine.
I get shows.
You can be a really good actor on screen, but be a shit voice actor.
100%.
So I'm kind of curious as to where that goes. That also just takes away the job from voice actors.
Yeah. Well, and the thing too is that like, we've seen time and time again, like non-voice actors take voice actor roles, and they're not good. You know, like
It's a Mario.
yeah. And like, listen, I think it could work. You know, if you just get like a really like obviously you're going to be hiring talented people to play these characters, but like,
Yeah.
I kind of like I don't need that much synergy. You know, it's,
They're trying to like really tie everything together. They don't need that much.
yeah, like
They need to go that hard.
Like what I don't need is wondering if the CW movie universe is going to connect to Man of Steel. Okay,
Yeah,
I don't
we
want to
don't-
go through that again. I don't need to go through that again. I just like I'm okay with like the shows and movies. Like Marvel's oversaturating it, but I do really like this current like DC slate that they have. Which is kind of like it's a good mix of shows that actually have variety.
Shows, movies.
Yeah, it's like
I'm excited.
I'm excited, man. Yeah, I'm giving it.
It's pretty positive.
I'm hyped. I mean, you were in the Discord that day when I was like posting. I was like, holy shit, he's doing a Booster Gold show! Oh my god! Like it was crazy.
It was like everything you'd want.
Yeah, literally. We're getting hopefully a good Superman movie. I really didn't expect a lot of this stuff. Like Creature Commandos, I never would have expected.
Did not expect Creature Commandos.
I didn't expect
Authority. Never heard of them.
I
think he can make it work. He said it's a passion project.
They're a wild. Well, and the thing too is that they're Wildstorm too. So like they're not even like initially like they're in the DC universe now. Like a few of them.
Yeah.
But like I did not like. I was genuinely thinking like maybe if we do anything that's not directly DC, we would do like Titans. Not Titans. Static.
Yeah.
You know, which I'm
Dude,
sure.
can
I'm
you
sure that's
imagine
coming.
Static on the big screen.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, I would love that, man.
Have you been like I'm kind of up to date with it as far as like the art goes, but have you been reading like the new Static comics?
Yes,
Are they sick?
they're really cool. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, because it's the same guy who's doing the art and the writing for it, and he's just doing like
Oh, he's doing the writing too.
yeah, and it's cool because it's more
Nicholas
of like a modern
Draper
retelling.
Ivy. That's his
Yes,
name.
Nicholas Draper Ivy.
He's the one that did the Black Panther album art.
Oh, did he do that?
Yeah, and he wasn't credited for it. That's why you don't know.
What?
Yeah.
No.
He wasn't credited for it.
That sucks, man. That's probably why I never see him drawing any Marvel art.
Yeah.
I only see
Well,
him
he's
doing
also
DC
busy
art.
doing Static.
Well, yeah, because he's doing Static. Oh, and actually, he's doing one next month for the milestone, like 30th anniversary. So that's Icon, Static Shock,
Yep,
all those characters. He's doing the Static and Batman Beyond crossover comic.
That's sick.
I'm so excited for it, dude.
Oh
It's-
yeah, with the Batman Beyond.
yeah.
That's sick.
So it's gonna be like an older Virgil showing
Yes.
Terry McGinnis. I
Sick.
don't know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be sick though.
Sick.
Like Nicholas Draper Ivy is like one of the most talented people right now. All right, so I guess before we move off of Snyderverse and just as we kind of start to like wrap stuff up, do you have a most anticipated thing and then something that like you like desperately want,
Okay.
whether it's a storyline or a character you want to see?
I think I think if they adapted like Harleen into a movie,
That'd be pretty sweet.
would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think Margot Robbie can head another like solo Harley. Well, her movies weren't really solo, but I think she can do like a solo movie.
That'd be pretty sweet. Just kind of
That'd
like
be
a whole
pretty
like
cool.
Harley like origin story.
Yeah.
Like Harleen. Yeah. Was I the one who turned you on to Harleen? Was I? I can't remember if I recommended that one too. Because I was like, dude, the art is
I do. I forgot his name.
Stepjon Sajic.
Stepjon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
The
foreign.
Sunstone guy. You know, it's great. You know, we all love Sunstone. It's
Yeah,
actually have you ever read Sunstone?
I know you recommended it to me.
Would.
I still? I'll get to it.
Yeah.
But I really like his art style. I've seen his art style before, like his drawings of Wonder Woman. He's drawn the Justice League before.
He did that for like 2 issues. It was kind of a bummer. I wanted
it was a
to do
bummer
before
because he's a really good artist.
yeah.
But
He does
I've
expressions really well.
Yeah, I've seen his art a lot. Good comic. But one that I'm kind of curious about is Rocksteady's Suicide Squad game.
Oh yeah.
It looked okay until gameplay. You would not think that the company behind the free flow combat system from Batman Arkham Asylum and City and Night would make a third person shooter where a guy called Captain Boomerang shoots guns.
Dude, I was like hesitant when that was first announced. I was like, okay.
I'm hesitant about it.
I'm like, now I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna pick it up.
No,
like
yeah.
after seeing the gameplay and like the menus of all like the like, if I hear someone say, "Oh, you can pick up gear in this open world," I'm hard pass. You gotta.
It's definitely like a fallen from grace thing.
I think it could be really cool if they actually.
We'll see.
Yeah.
They have plans to add like more people to the squad,
Which is cool.
But again, since it's so focused on third person shooting, you're not gonna have like Bane running around
Well,
with
that's
guns.
Why would they not do like a Guardians of the Galaxy esque thing too? Like maybe just have like one main character, or again, like you can easily do like this is a co-op game. Why would you not just have like the different like classes? You know, Harley gets like the bat and got like her trademark bat, guns, Boomerang gets
yeah.
boomerangs.
Yes.
And then let's say if you get Bane eventually, he could just be a roided out like Bruiser character.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be
King
really
Shark be the tank, Bruiser guy, melee, Deadshot,
cool. Deadshot. Yeah.
long range shooter. Captain Boomerang is like a mid range boomerang guy, and Harley's like the fast acrobatic character. But no, they're all people that can fly and shoot guns. I don't know.
Which is I really don't like them having superpowers, man. Yeah, I'm like seeing that gameplay really just killed my hype for it.
Yeah,
thought
I
it
do
was
like
gonna be cool.
the designs are cool.
Yeah, no, designs are actually really cool, especially like some of like the alt costumes they showed off.
Yeah, not
Like
bad. Wonder Woman looks sick.
Yeah, okay, that's what I want the new Wonder Woman to look like. Straight
She looks
up.
cool.
She actually looks Greek,
Yeah.
which is like nice.
Flash is okay. It's armored Flash again.
I hate Armored Flash. We hate Armored Flash. I hate it. It's so bad. Like
Armored Flash sucks. Batman looks good from what we saw.
I mean, it's basically just Arkham Batman, isn't
It's
it?
basically Arkham Man. It's Kevin Conroy's last role as Batman, which is sad that it's stuck in that game, but it is what it is. Jon Stewart, Green Lantern.
That's cool. I like
looks
Jon
cool.
Stewart. Jon Stewart's cool.
Lex looked like a goober. And a thing with the Arkhamverse is they usually got people that played those characters in the, like Justice League, Batman animated series, or Superman animated series shows to be the voices. I don't think it's...
I don't know the guy's name. I'm sorry.
I think it's like Clancy something.
No, well, it's not Clancy Brown.
No, it's
Yeah,
not
I was
Mr.
like,
Krabs.
Yeah, that's the only Clancy voice actor I know.
It's not Mr. Krabs. But I don't think he was the voice for Lex, but Lex looks like just a bald guy.
He's just a guy.
It didn't look like Lex, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has
Lex is
a
much more
specific bald man look.
Yes. Yeah.
And it
he's
just looks
chiseled.
like a guy.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah.
I think we kind of summed it up.
Yeah.
We rambled a little bit, but that's what
I think that was
BS Crew's
solid.
about.
Yeah. Oh, Titans is probably my most is like the one I want. Titans / Static. That would be like
Yeah.
Those are
True.
tied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Static would be sick. Titans would be awesome.
Yeah.
Would you want it to be like from Teen Titans, that lineup of characters? Would you want it to be Nightwing, Raven, Cyborg, Beast Boy, Starfire?
Yes, I think I might want to get one of the Flashes in there, whether it's Impulse or
Kid Flash?
could be Kid Flash if we're doing Wally.
What about like Speedy? Is that his name, or is
Speedy
it like?
would be cool.
Or is it like
Roy
Arsenal?
Hopper? Yeah, it kind of depends on what era.
Who
he's
you
in.
ask?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think we would need a bigger lineup than like just the show. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
but
not
yeah,
too big though.
Yeah, not too big, but maybe like add like 2 or 3 more.
I can see that.
Yeah, and then have Deathstroke be the villain. Like, let's be honest, like
Do you think Joe Manganiello should be Deathstroke?
he's cool. I like him. Like,
He's cool, but he just stands there.
He does. Yeah.
He keeps teasing that he's Deathstroke for him to just stand there.
Yeah, he could be cool. All right. Pick of the week. What you
Yeah.
got? One thing
right.
you liked from the past week.
Okay, I'm cheating. I have a couple things.
Go for it.
Since we're in the theme of DC, I think people should give a watch to James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, which is way better than Suicide Squad from David Ayer. I really enjoyed that movie. I think it's my number 2 DC movie.
What's your number 1?
My number 1, which I'm getting to, is The Batman.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Easy.
Easy. That is the Batman movie that I think everyone should watch. It's a 3-hour movie, but when you watch it, it doesn't feel like 3 hours, which is a good thing.
yeah, and it really nails like the whole like noir aspect of
Yes,
Batman.
Detective
which is, like,
Batman is Batman.
He's the world's greatest detective. Like, how do people not know this?
And one last thing, Gorillaz, they have a new album, Cracker Island. It sounds a little racist.
That's kind of funny.
Really good.
Okay, not bad. Actually, I just found out today. I was scrolling through Twitter. Did you know the Clint Eastwood like the loop that they use for the instrumentation was just like a pre-built loop that
Really?
the guy bought on like a keyboard? Yeah, yeah. I can show you the video once we're done with this. But yeah,
I got
it's like-
you.
yeah.
All right, Jerry, what are your picks?
Or
pick.
I just got one, and funny enough, the book is actually right next to you. I was going with Fantastic Four Full Circle.
Art looks really good.
Yeah, so Alex Ross of Kingdom Come fame, just one of the best.
Yeah, legendary artist
yeah.
at this point.
He's incredible. Yeah. So he's actually writing and drawing. Yeah. He's doing the writing and the art on that.
Is this
And-
the whole thing here, or is
That's-
this just like part 1?
Nope, that's it. So it was just
Okay.
kind of like a passion project for him, and he just kind of like sent it. And no, it's just incredibly well done. He's not doing his typical like painting.
Yeah,
He's
it doesn't
using-
look like a typical Alex Ross style.
which I actually really appreciate because they spend the vast majority of that book in the negative zone. Yep.
Yep.
So I always
Yep.
confuse Phantom and negative. Yeah, they spend the majority of the time in the negative zone, so they do some really cool stuff with like the colors and like the shading in there.
It did. I was just glancing through and it looked pretty cool.
Oh yeah, the writing is like super like pulpy, kind of reminds me of like 70s era Fantastic Four.
Which I think works for them.
Yeah, and it's it's Ben Grimm being like, oh, what's it to you? What do you know? And it's like yeah. No, it's super well done, and like stories like that are the reason like why I really like Fantastic Four. Just kind of like standalone stuff where like it's just well done. That's all I can say. It's fun.
Comics should be fun.
Yeah, exactly. Comics are fun.
There shouldn't be misery.
Yeah. All right, cool. We like fun comics.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Hey, thanks for joining me, Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Till next
Take
time,
it
pal.
easy.
Yeah, take it easy, pal.
Relax and have fun.